Let's be brutally honest. The modern world sells you a fairy tale, a soft, comforting lie. It tells you to be nice, to be agreeable, to constantly seek permission, to supplicate, to offer your dignity as an opening bid for acceptance. And it promises you, if you follow this script, you will be rewarded with love, with respect, with power. And what is the result? Look at your own experience. Confusion. Why do the rules not work? Frustration. Why is your effort met with indifference? A profound loss of agency. You feel like a passenger in your own life, reacting to a world that seems chaotic, unfair, and utterly random. You are chasing signals you cannot decipher, playing a game where the rules are written in a language you were never taught. This is not a personal failure. This is the inevitable outcome of following a script designed to produce compliant consumers, not sovereign men. But to the strategic mind, to the mind we are building here, chaos is simply a lack of order. It is not a mystical force. It is raw material. It is unshaped clay, and order can be imposed. This is the fundamental shift. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and you begin asking, "How will I shape what is happening around me?" The world is not happening to you. It is presenting data for you. Therefore, the first step is non-negotiable. It is the death of the supplicant. That needy, approval-seeking version of you must be executed, not hidden, not managed, terminated with extreme prejudice. That voice that whispers, "Will she like me?" Silence it. That reflex to apologize for your presence, erase it. This is not an act of violence against yourself, but an act of surgery. You are cutting out a tumor of weakness. Mourn him if you must, but bury him. He is the source of all your confusion. From this ashes, you must forge a new mentality, the architect. The architect does not beg for shelter from the storm. He studies the wind patterns. He analyzes the bedrock. He assesses the available timber. He understands the forces of nature, not to complain about them, but to use them, to build a structure that turns the storm's violence into a dramatic backdrop for his unshakable creation. He does not hope for a seat at someone else's table. He builds his own hall and sets the rules for entry. This is your new reality. Your mind is your first and most important construction site. Before you influence a single external thing, you must survey this land. What weak structures are here? The shack of insecurity? The unstable foundation of others' opinions? Bulldoze them. You are the foreman, the designer, and the labor. You pour the concrete of discipline. You erect the steel beams of principle. You wire the systems with strategic logic. Day by day, you build a fortress of a mind. And from that command center, you will not react to the world. You will project your order onto it.
Pillar 1. Sovereign frame. This is not a personality trait. It is a constructed reality. The first law of power is this: you must establish the territory on which all interaction takes place. That territory is your perception, your mood, your reality. You are the king in your own mind. Most men are peasants in their own heads, begging for validation from passing travelers. This is a fatal error. Your reality is your kingdom. Your mood, your self-worth, your mission, these are your sovereign borders. They are not subject to external validation. A compliment does not expand them. An insult does not breach them. They are defined by you and defended by you. She does not dictate your weather. Her mood is her own climate. If she is stormy, you remain the clear sky. Your emotional state is not a reaction. It is a choice. This is the foundation of true power. You are the unmoved mountain. Winds may howl, rains may fall, but the mountain's core is silent, immovable, and permanent.
This is not arrogance, it is gravitational pull. Arguing, defending, explaining, these are the actions of a man whose frame is being challenged. The mountain does not argue with the wind, it simply exists. And because it exists with such mass, such certainty, everything of lesser mass is drawn to it. When your inner state is unshakable, people orbit you. They seek your stability, your certainty. They seek your climate. Therefore, you must practice absolute emotional discipline. This is your daily drill. When you feel the impulse to seek approval, to explain yourself, to react to provocation, you stop. You breathe into the silence. You reconnect to your mission. Your frame is not a wall you hide behind. It is the chessboard itself, the defined space where the game is played, your rules, your geometry. Never, under any circumstances, do you let another player flip the table. If she attempts to flip the table, through drama, through testing, through withdrawal, you do not fight on the overturned board. You calmly state the price of returning to the game, or you leave and build a new board elsewhere. A king does not fight for his throne on the floor. He ensures his throne is the only seat in the room. Underlying philosophy for you, the creator. The sovereign frame is the antithesis of neediness. It is the operationalization of outcome independence. The key psychological mechanisms are 1. Internal locus of control. Success, happiness, and self-worth are derived from internal standards and actions, not external events or others' opinions. The script hammers it with your kingdom, your borders, your choice. 2. Pre-selection and abundance mindset, implied. The reason you can be unmoved is because you are not desperate. Your world does not end with one person's disapproval. This is the gravitational pull. You have your own mass, your own world, and others are optional additions to it, not its source. 3. The principle of least interest. The person with the least investment in the outcome of an interaction holds the most power. By making your emotional state independent of her actions, you instantly hold less needy interest, which is perceived as strength and confidence. 4. The table flipping metaphor. This is crucial. It teaches boundary enforcement. Many men understand the concept of a frame, but crumble when it's challenged. The flip the table scenario provides a clear, decisive action. Disengage. You do not negotiate on a broken board. You withdraw your presence, the ultimate weapon of the sovereign. This makes the frame not a passive state, but an active, enforceable doctrine. Pillar 2. Perceived value scarcity. This is where we move from philosophy to applied economics. In the market of human attention, price dictates by one law, scarcity. Water is abundant and therefore cheap. A diamond is rare and therefore priceless. You must engineer yourself into a diamond. This is not about being arrogant. It is about being a man of such tangible value that your time, your attention, and your presence become limited edition assets. Most men make themselves like water, always available, predictable, flowing to fill whatever container is offered to them. This is why they are taken for granted. You will be the resource people queue to acquire. How is this engineered? Through 3 levers: time, mystery, and mission. First, time. Your time is your most non-renewable resource. You do not give it freely. You invest it. You are not free tomorrow night. You are rearranging a prior commitment. You leave conversations first. You are the first to end the phone call with a purposeful, "I have to get back to my work." This broadcasts a critical subconscious message. My world is full. It operates on a schedule, and you are being granted an audience within it. 2. Mystery. The human mind is a puzzle-solving engine. It is obsessed with what it cannot fully see. Most men are open books, boring, predictable narratives. You must become a novel with certain chapters deliberately missing. Do not overshare your pains, your insecurities, your daily mundanity. Speak in accomplishments and broad visions, not in tedious processes. Reveal yourself in layers, over time. Let her work to uncover the next level. This perceived depth creates intrigue, and intrigue creates investment. She is not consuming a story, she is earning a revelation. Third, and most important, mission. This is the core of your gravitational mass. You are not orbiting her. She glimpses the trajectory of your rocket. Your mission, your business, your art, your physical transformation, your empire is your primary relationship. It is the thing you would choose over her without hesitation, and you must let this be known, not through words, but through the relentless prioritization of your actions. When you choose the gym over a last-minute date, you are not rejecting her, you are affirming your mission. This makes you a man moving towards a peak, and people are intrinsically drawn to ascension. They want to be part of the journey to the summit. Understand this: availability is the enemy of authority. Neediness is the scent of cheap perfume. By mastering these three levers, controlling time, cultivating mystery, and being enslaved to your mission, you manufacture a perception of immense value. You are no longer a man asking, "Do you like me?" You are presenting a rare opportunity, silently asking, "Are you worthy of my time?" This is the unspoken power of the scarce resource. It does not chase, it is acquired. Pillar 3. Controlled reciprocity. This is the operational engine of influence. Every human interaction is an exchange, but most men are terrible merchants. They give too much, too soon, for too little, or they take clumsily, creating resentment. The architect understands the ledger. He knows that every gift, every compliment, every moment of attention is a strategic deposit, not an emotional spill. This is the essence of Machiavellian virtù, the calculated power to shape your social fortune. You are not a generous friend. You are a central bank controlling the flow of social capital. The first principle: never give unconditionally. A gift without a perceived cost is worthless. A favor without an implied debt is forgotten. When you offer support, it must be framed as a conscious allocation of your scarce resources. "I'm swamped with the quarterly reports, but I'll make time to look at your resume." The value is not in the resume advice, it is in the time you reallocate it. You have instantly created obligation. You are not a tap she can turn on. You are a reservoir that grants a measured release. The second principle: reciprocity must be enforced, not hoped for. The weak man gives and hopes she'll be kinder, more affectionate, more loyal. This is beggar's logic. The architect gives to reinforce a specific behavior. She shows admiration, you reciprocate with a rare personal compliment. She plans a thoughtful date, you reciprocate with undivided attention. She tests or withdraws, you reciprocate with immediate, calm withdrawal of your presence and positive feedback. This is not punishment, it is behavioral conditioning. You are training the subconscious mind to understand the direct market link between her actions and your value. You become the mirror that reflects her own treatment back to her with calculated clarity. The third principle: create social debt and then call it in strategically. This is the long game. Small remembered favors, the book you recommended that changed her perspective, the introduction you made, these are quiet investments. You do not mention them in the moment. You let them compound in the ledger of her mind. Then, at a critical juncture, when you need precedence in a decision, when you need her to align with your plan, you reference that debt not as a demand, but as a reminder of shared history. You know I've always looked out for your growth. Trust me on this path. The call is framed as continuity, but the underlying mechanics are fiscal. Understand this: uncontrolled generosity is weakness. It devalues your currency.
Controlled reciprocity is the art of being a profitable investment. People stay invested in what they have paid for. By making her consciously or subconsciously invest in your goodwill through her own compliant behavior, you secure loyalty that is far deeper than affection. Affection is fickle. A sense of earned partnership, of mutual account settlement, is binding. You are not her emotional caretaker, you are her most valuable counterparty. The ledger must always balance in your ultimate favor. Theory without application is philosophy. We are not philosophers, we are engineers of social reality. Therefore, discard abstraction. What follows is the executable code, the social algorithm, a 4-step protocol for behavioral shaping. Memorize it, drill it, execute it with cold precision. Step 1. Observe. You do not enter a room, you deploy into an environment. Your mission, intelligence gathering. Your persona, the analyst. Your first 10 minutes are absolute silence. You listen not to words, but to patterns. You watch not faces, but hierarchies. Who seeks validation? That is an insecurity. Who holds the group's attention? That is a social node. Who is speaking over others? That is a desire for dominance. Do not judge, catalog. Information is not just power, it is your primary weapon. A master does not play the game blindfolded, he maps the entire board before he touches a piece. Step 2. Anchor. Now you establish your territory. This is the instantiation of your sovereign frame. You do not wait for an invitation, you set the climate. Your posture, spine straight, shoulders back, rooted to the earth. Your voice, calm, paced, dropping to the lower register. Your eye contact, unwavering but not aggressive, as if you are seeing the person behind the social mask. You are not reacting to the energy of the room, you are emitting your own frequency. You become the constant in the equation, the unmoved, unshakable variable against which all other emotional volatility is measured. People will unconsciously calibrate to your calm. Step 3. Oscillate. This is the core tactical loop. This is not being randomly hot and cold. That is the behavior of an unstable boy. This is the strategic application and release of pressure. You apply controlled pressure, a playful challenge to her opinion, a teasing smirk, or the most powerful tool, planned absence. You then follow with calculated release, a genuine compliment, a moment of focused warmth, your undivided attention. Why? You are programming the subconscious. You become the variable she must solve for. The mind is addicted to patterns. By creating this oscillation, you train her mind to work for the reward of your validation. It is no longer given freely, it is earned. And what the mind works for, it values. What it values, it seeks to keep. Step 4. Incentivize. Now you lock in the behavior you want. This is controlled reciprocity in motion. You are the behavioral economist of your interactions. When she behaves in alignment with your goals, shows respect, plans a date, demonstrates loyalty, you provide a subtle, valuable reward, a specific, rare compliment, a shared secret, a gesture of your time. Conversely, upon defiance, disrespect, or testing, you enact immediate, calm withdrawal. Not a dramatic fight, a simple retraction of your attention and positive feedback. The lesson is clear and immediate. Certain actions yield access to your world, others revoke it. The mind, any mind, from a dolphin's to a human's, follows reinforcement. You are not punishing, you are curating. This is the algorithm. Observe, anchor, oscillate, incentivize. It is a closed loop. It feeds back into itself. Each interaction provides more data, observe, which strengthens your frame, anchor, which refines your oscillation, which allows for more precise incentives. This is how you move from being a passive participant in social dynamics to being their silent director. You are not manipulating a person, you are mastering a system. The outcome is a predictable, stable dynamic where you hold the defining position. Now, run the code.
This is more than a video. What you have just witnessed is a blueprint, a schematic of power. It is the architectural plan for a mind and a life that cannot be controlled, only revered. You have seen the load-bearing walls, sovereign frame. You have seen the wiring, perceived scarcity. You have seen the plumbing, controlled reciprocity. You have the theory, but a blueprint without tools is just paper. It is potential, locked in theory. It is a castle, drawn on sand. To build it in reality, you need more. You need the next level of precision. You need the proprietary system, the exact phrases for every test, the scenario breakdowns for every form of resistance, the advanced behavioral calibrations that turn principle into instinct. The difference between a draftsman and a master builder is not knowledge, it is proprietary methodology. That system exists. It is engineered. It is waiting. The link in the description is not a suggestion. It is your access point. It is a portal from the world of theory into the realm of applied dominance. It contains the full architectural schematics, the mortar, the rebar, the security systems for your kingdom. This video was the sales pitch for the idea. What lies beyond that link is the factory where the idea is forged into steel. Click it. This is your only decisive action. Your future as a reactive man, confused, frustrated, perpetually off balance, ends the second your finger touches that link. That version of you is a ghost, an echo. Burn his memory. Your evolution, your metamorphosis into the architect begins in that exact millisecond. This is the line of demarcation between the man who watches and the man who builds. Do not comment below with doubts. Do not litter the comments with your hesitations. The comment section is not a therapy clinic. It is a debriefing room for operators. It is for the few who have taken the first step, accessed the system, and are back to share their results, their calibrations, their victories. If you have questions, the answers are behind the link. Your doubt is the final ghost of the supplicant. Silence it with action. The game is played by few. The masses are pieces, moved by emotions they do not understand. You now understand the board. You see the grid. You have identified the players. The only question that remains is whether you will remain a piece or pick up the crown. The board awaits. The tools are forged. The choice is binary. Build your kingdom.